Hello and welcome back at German Check. This little YT lesson here on the German language this time will deal with the perfect tense once more. And since we discovered last time the ways of constructing a participle in German, we of course have to fulfill our mission and to complete this perfect tense, which until now is missing the second part, the actual major part. When constructing such a tense, you will need a helping verb. And this helping verb in German, other than it is in English, can be either haben or sein. So it is either something derived from to have or to be. And since today I only will deal with the verbs of movement, something that we already have discussed in our previous video, you can have a look at this one too. There I represented you with the verbs gehen, fahren, fliegen, schwimmen, laufen and such. And this time I will show you how to use one of them in the past, more exactly in present perfect. Why do we have it? Why do we use this kind of tense? Well, in German it is used basically for communicating in daily life and telling stuff that happened. So you see here it is used in spoken German when you tell stuff to your friend or colleague, but not so much in written German. Well, yes, you do it too, but majorly to point out some relationship between the past and the present. Also, if you want to sound more familiar to the person you're writing to. So if it is a colleague you befriended with, or it is some family member, or just a good friend, you will most likely use the present perfect tense as well if you tell him or her about stuff that happened. In any other written case, you will use the past tense, the simple past tense in German, which you mostly will have in written works such as novels or reports. So keep that in mind. Also very important to know for the present perfect tense is that most of the movement verbs, of verbs that show you a movement from A to B, and which is the actual definition of movement, it's moving from a start to an end. So this is a real movement. For example, dancing is not a movement, it's a stationary action. Such stationary actions we will have a look at on our next video, but in this one I will simply have a look at the verbs of movement, and which are in almost 90% of all cases irregular verbs. So what do irregular verbs need? Well, they will need the helping word sein, yeah, and of course the participle, which we will have to know how to form. Well, you will have to know how to change it in the middle, and you will most likely have an en in the end of this participle. And if you're still having questions or cannot remember it from last time, please watch the video from our last lesson. And this is your ingredient, right? You just need a helping word and a participle in order to construct a working present perfect tense in your sentence, which includes a movement. So if you have such a verb of movement, such as for instance gehen, well, this you know right away is a movement because it must have had a starting point and a finishing line. So it was a movement, a walking, a going from A to B. This is what is implied in such an action, in such a movement. And so you will form here sein, something of sein. Why do I say something of sein? Because you will have to change it to the right persona that is fulfilling this movement. And the participle of gehen, gegangen, gegangen. This is the participle of gehen. And well, what person might I have? Well, if I will use I for ich, I will say ich bin, not sein. I will change it to bin, and I will say ich bin gegangen. If I have the du person, I will say du bist gegangen. And if I have a he, she, it, I will say sie, es ist gegangen. And of course, if you have people, like if you have, for example, we or they, so wir und sie, you will say sind. So wir oder sie sind gegangen. And if you have many people you're talking to, like a group, you will say ihr seid. Ihr, you the people, ihr seid gegangen. So now you know how to construct a proper present perfect tense when you're talking about moving somehow, somewhere. Okay guys, if you liked this video so much, I advise you to hit the like button, of course, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out any lesson that is going to come. All I can do is wishing you all the best you need in order to become a proficient, fluent German speaker yourself. If you have questions, I'm always happy to read your comments below about you making progress or struggling with some issues. Let me know. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Auf Wiedersehen.